guys, welcome to Clockwork Dandy Noodles for another reading of my blog, The Journey Begins. I hope you guys are doing well. I am very itchy. It is the season of pollen and dust and all the little tiny things that are in the air that somehow just come out during hay fever season, which make you go, achoo. Everything is upon me right now, and it sucks. But we are not here for that. We're here for another reading, so thank you so much for tuning back in. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you have real cheese, because I don't. Or maybe I do. I could actually order some. Very tempted to order some now. What am I doing? Okay, let's rock. This is the 29th of June. Knowledge is power. The most exciting thing about traveling for me has always been discovering new places, sights, food, and scenery. I grew up in a rural enough town surrounded by farmland, but only 1 hour train ride from the UK's capital, London. But rural enough that my upper school offered agriculture as a course, and they had a farm. And lots of animals, which is quite cool. Rural enough to explore the fields for miles and not run into anyone. When I first saw the word Saga Prefecture, I did feel a little bit bad. The only thing I knew about Saga was Zombieland Saga, and at the time I wasn't 100% if I remembered correctly that it was set in Saga. It is, and I wrote a piece later about Zombieland Saga, so do check that one out. It was an amazingly awesome show that put Saga on the map for me. I was happy enough to see something recognizable written down after weeks of the silence and anxiety of thinking maybe I'll be stuck in Tokyo. I was starting to worry, and I still don't think I would have accepted if I had placed in Tokyo. It's very expensive, and a lot of my purpose for going to Japan relies on being able to have the ability to move around. And yeah, Tokyo is big, beautiful, and there's a lot of benefits, but it's very much more expensive. So there's a lot more going on, and I can cover things like rent and stuff later, but you'll see why I do kind of prefer the rural life over here. Saga has also worked on a few anime collaborations in the past, one covering its ceramics and the others more slice of lifey. I admire a prefecture that is doing this and promoting itself via the art of media. The first thing I did was hit up Google Maps. I wanted to know everything, where it was, what the travel connections were like, where were the big cities, what festivals are held around the year, where are the local shrines, what are the local foods, who are my neighbouring prefectures, and what was Kyushu's life all about. Kyushu is going to be my home for the next year. I was overcome with excitement, but also a huge helping of nervousness. I had initially put Osaka, Kyoto, and Yamanashi Prefecture as my preferences. In general, I had hoped for a small city that was within a few hours from Tokyo, via a train perhaps. As someone who has already lived in that rural city life, I was eager for a change of pace and scenery. But the more I began to research, the more I became a bit more divided. I still haven't had any information particularly on where I'll be. I am reading this in the future knowing where I am, it's different. But general research of the whole prefecture has coloured in an initial picture. I researched the wildlife, what temperatures to expect. I do believe whatever placement you do receive in JET, it will come down to what you are trying to get. What are you trying to aim? What is your goal? What do you want? How are you going to make it your chapter? The more you put in, the more you're going to get out. If you want to travel around, you're going to have to make some cuts here and there, eating out less and less. For me, personally, just digging in here, I do travel a lot, and I actually love the fact that I have the ability to travel but it does mean I don't drink. Lately I've been bad, but normally I don't order as much food out, or I sometimes will just skip a meal because I'm not hungry. If I'm not hungry, it's okay to skip the odd meal or two, but I'm not promoting that one. That's me, and I'm admitting that's a bad thing, but there are ways of eating cheap over here, and if you want to have the extra cash, you're going to have to work out what it is you want to do. If you're here for the party life, you're going to want to save money for the booze. If you're here for just working, if you mainly is focused on work, then again, you can put more money towards those work things going on. It's all about what you want. Do not let anybody make you feel bad for what it is you want to do. And that was one of my big problems at the start. I felt really bad for the whole traveling thing, but then I realized life is way too short and you need to make whatever you want from this story. As long as you're doing your job and putting your best in, nobody can make you feel bad for the traveling thing, because I felt really self-conscious about it, but now I feel great because I am 14 prefectures out of 47, and I've got many amazing stories to tell, many amazing experiences, great food I've tried. And honestly, I want to do more. I just want to travel around and do more. And I love the art of traveling around, and it's exciting. And I've got Golden Week coming up and I have no idea what's going on for that yet. I probably left it too late, but I am planning to do something with it. I am still on the fence about my placement. I have worries, but I think keeping an open mind is the best approach. It is. However, not overhyping things too is important, or you may end up very disappointed. Expect both ups and downs. I found out some cool things about the prefecture I was going to call home. As someone who doesn't eat fish, I was initially worried about an island placement. However, Saga itself has its own beef, Saga Gyu. I love Saga Gyu. Similar to the famous Kobe, it has other meat dishes from the prefecture. I was also given a cute book by my friend to celebrate my upgrade. It has recommended places, hotels, foods, and things to try around the area. Depending on my precise placement, I could also end up very close to Nagasaki. So. Somewhere very high on my visit list. I was told there was a US naval base there, that is, in Sasebo, in case I get homesick and want familiar foods. Honestly, the familiar food thing, you can find that outside of Sasebo too. Saga was very much the same population as my home city. It was also famous for agriculture and fishing. Again, like my home city, Saga is famous for ceramics. If flipped and placed in the other end, I would be close to Fukuoka, other side. I am actually kind of close, so I'm slap bang in the middle where I am. But again, I'm only in 40 minutes from Fukuoka, which is the biggest, it's like the fourth biggest city in like Japan. So big one. Fukuoka is up and coming. It's a vibrant, bustling city. There are positives to both. A whole new island for me to explore, dig in and eat. Lots of eating going on. New people to meet and lots of history for me to nerd over. There are still a lot of history things I need to do in Saga. So many things in Saga to do. It's insane. There is a naval base. There is Yoshinogari. There's so much. There's Tosu. Honestly, reading this back, it's so weird. The weather is hot to mild all year round. This was my biggest worry, as I have a huge fear of spiders. Saga's climate was perfect for local Huntsman San and his friend Makare-chan. I will say, I've only seen Huntsman San in Nagasaki. So screw you, Nagasaki, for being the only prefecture I've actually seen one of these babies in. So far, haven't seen Makare-chan. Touching wood. I need to go around my apartment maybe tomorrow with the spray, because I know it's getting warmer out there, so I need to start spraying everywhere in my house. Maybe I could do a piece on like the bugs as well, because I need to do a piece on bugs. I will write more about these two different places in a different article, as I realize as well that my day-to-day blog is starting to change. Honestly, the blog at this point also starts to do more flipping around. Don't just expect it to all be like this all the time. My blog also goes into more interesting things, like Kumamon was recent. We do all aspects of Japan life. Hopefully you guys will find some interest in that. I learned about the typhoon path that Saga was in and read about the emergency information. Knowledge is power. I wanted to go in armed with as much information as possible. I wanted to hit the ground running, start exploring and taking those trips and knowing what I want to eat. My big goal for this chapter of my life will be learning Japanese and recording my daily experiences in my home on my travels. Cooking and trying different foods and experiencing the island. Meet new people, and also I want to meet some Japanese people. The Japanese people thing is still up there for debate. I have spoken to Japanese. I have got some Japanese JTEs who I like talking to. They are fun. The cooking I'm slowly getting back into again. I like cooking. I think cooking is great. I have always regretted not doing more during university, but this feels like a second chance. I am hoping that I can also participate in Kudo and local clubs. I run ESS, so sadly this was not really a thing for me, but sometimes if you don't have a club, you can sometimes pick up other things. I also want to go swimming over here, so there's lots of opportunities to do everything. I hope the people who read these blogs or watch my YouTube Japan footage will be inspired or at least learn new things about the fascinating country, similar to my goal as an ALT. If I can inspire one student to take a trip to the UK or get excited to learn English, I will consider that a win. I do not expect to change the world on this mission, but I hope that somebody can be inspired by me and me being there. So thank you guys so much. I hope you guys have had a great opportunity to listen to me rambling again. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.